Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in here. Thank you for coming tonight. Publicly Buzzed Live is about to hit you. Tonight we're going to be looking at something that I just found yesterday. It's from a podcast that you can find down in the description. It's called voicesofthewest.net. They had Hannah on. This is from September the 11th, 2021. This is 1 month and 1 week before the fatal accident that we've all become way too familiar with. We're going to be listening to a little bit of this. At least we're going to kind of go through it anyways. I've got some other things to kind of talk to you guys about. Dan is back here hanging out. We're about to come at you. Thanks for being here. Please share this out. Hit the like, share it. Helps us out in the algorithm. Really appreciate it, guys.
Let's rock.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in here. Thank you for being here. Publicly Buzzed Live is on the air. Yeah, like I said in the opening there, we're going to be looking at this Hannah Gutierrez-Reed interview that she did with the voicesofthewest.net. This is, again, 1 month and 1 week before the incident that happened that we've all become, again, way too familiar with because of the Rust trial that just finished, where she was convicted of involuntary manslaughter. Some interesting quotes that are in here that we're going to be looking at. I've got up the TMZ article, the post. I've got an interview here with her father that I think is pretty interesting. We're going to be hitting you guys with this. Thank you guys so much, seriously, for coming through here. Really freaking appreciate it. Again, like I said before, if you'd share this out, if you hit that like ski, that really helps us out. I'm not sure why that chat's not working. Why is that not going? Let me give it the old refresh there. Boom. Hopefully it'll be working back here as I introduce Dan the Man.
Hello, hello.
What's up, dude? Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Yeah, I took a short break.
What's up, dude?
A 1 day break.
Respect
nothing, chilling.
my house. Just chilling.
That's what I meant to hit. Just chilling. Yeah.
I was Federal Friday last week.
It was good, dude. It was real good. We just chilled and listened to music, actually. I went through a random... Actually, it was a little different, though. It was like we started with rap, and it just divulged into psychedelic, and I ended it with Sleep, Dope Smoker. So maybe I shouldn't have been left alone. I went on a Rocky Erickson rant. Some 13 Floor Elevators was played, but everyone loved it. It's what's crazy. It was awesome.
Very nice.
It was fun, dude.
Rocky Erickson's the man.
It was a good one. Yeah, because when I started playing some Elevators, I was like, you know what? This guy actually has a true crime story, and then I told a story. Good stuff, man. Good stuff.
The joint story.
Yeah, exactly. I said, this man, it was caught with one freaking joint, got put into a mental institution, suffered fucking electroshock therapy. I don't remember the exact number, but multiple times, like 13 times or something, like a stupid amount of times. Totally changed his personality, totally changed the type of music that he made. Crazy story. And again, I actually mentioned that we're probably going to watch that documentary that they made in
that would be good.
05 or 06. That'd be cool. Because I mentioned, I was like, his brother fought in court to get his custody of him from his mother because she was, I mean, I'm sure she loved him, but she didn't do what was proper.
Wasn't truly taking care of him.
Yeah, she didn't give him his meds. He was sitting in a room listening to static on a television set, not even communicating verbally. It was crazy. So, yeah, we had a good time, man. Everyone in here right now, appreciate the hell of it. I'm going to take a look through the chat real quick before we get started here tonight. Brooklyn coming through here. What's up? And that I knighted Brooklyn. Don't know if anybody noticed. She has the wrench. Bada bing, bada boom. G up in here, hanging and banging. Mark's in here. Cammy Q's in here. Joanne B's in here. Cat Grow. Helen Steiner's in here. MJ. Helen was asking about you earlier, and I told her you was doing better. So.
Yeah, I was sick there at the end of the weekend and early this week. So that's not why I was gone Friday, but I did end up getting sick over the weekend.
And Mandy earlier mentioned actually in Jay's chat, she's like, that's what happens. You know, you played hooky on Friday and you actually got sick.
Yep. That's how it goes.
MJ, Jersey Jen, Scott Troop, Karen, Beaton in here, Heather in here, Dizzy. Let's see if I'm going here. Julie Terranova. Still going up. Tamara B, hello, welcome in here. Thank you for coming. New people, thanks for coming in. Really appreciate it. We do not bite. B Rabbit, thanks for coming in also. And also, I want to throw this one out real quick before we even got started here tonight. Carly Rooks became a member, a Buzz Killers level member. Thank you, Carly. Really appreciate the shit out of that. That's freaking awesome. You're not going to regret it. And hell yeah, welcome in everybody.
Oh, welcome, Botrix. You finally joined the party.
Did it finally wake the fuck up?
Slacking motherfucker.
Good God, Lord. And this chat's still not working here.
Nope.
It should wake up here. I did the refresh on it. It usually works when I do that.
The bot decided to come to work. I mean, come on. And we're worried about AI taking over the world.
Oh, dude,
These
you were
bots
freaking
can't
out
even
about
show up to
AI
work.
earlier.
No, on a serious note.
We
yeah.
have to get an AI
It's out of
episode
control.
2 in place. I want to hear.
Like, I mean, I know you're seeing it, dude. It's hard to distinguish like real people anymore.
I am seeing it, yeah, dude.
Like, it's
freaky.
getting fucking weird.
I think it's going to be some real scary shit going on, dude. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not happy about it at all, but it's getting weird. It's getting super duper weird. Can I wake this thing up on the site? Do I refresh? What do I do here? I want this kind
I'm
of
no
stuff.
help there. I have zero experience with that thing.
Weird. I don't know. I usually do the old refresh and comes in. Maybe it'll come in. Sometimes it wakes up. Whatever. Everybody hanging and banging. I really appreciate it. Has anybody seen this interview?
Hey, there it is.
Barrett woke up, heard me talking that shit. This interview's crazy. See Susan sneaking in here, Kristen sneaking in here, CH, Skytroop, C Glass Girl. Hello to my buzzed bows. Excited for this. Stephen Dan, welcome in here. Thank you very much. Who you with? We got the whole crew in here tonight. This interview I found yesterday. First, I want to start with this. This is from TMZ. Okay, this is from 2021. This is less than 2 months after the incident. This is December the 7th. This is an interview with her dad. I made that short that I posted this morning. But check this out. This is interesting. So initially, it seems like they were going to be leaning a whole lot harder into sabotage. And the father, Phil Reed, who is impossible to find a lot of information on, not information, but footage. Like old footage of him is almost impossible. I found a little bit that I'm going to show you guys. And I found something that I can't show you guys because I'm sure it's copyrighted by some movie studio. It's behind the scenes of the movie Tombstone. He running that shit with the guns and teaching the cast how to shoot. So as you can imagine. But let's dive in here just for a second. Check this out before we get into the Hannah podcast appearance with some very memorable quotes that again, she's convicted. She is convicted of involuntary manslaughter. Happened yesterday. So let's just check this out for a second and make sure I've got this.
As a father, are you concerned that Hannah could go to jail?
No. The sheriff's department will get to the bottom of this. I'm not worried about that at all. She's been raised around gun safety and all that stuff when she was a little girl. She liked film, but she thought about going camera. But she started working with me as an armory, and she liked that better. She didn't need more training with. She's got me.
She had two duties, prop duties and armorer duties. She had spun the cylinder. She had given it to Hall. She had shown him each of the 6 rounds. Halls was going to take custody of that weapon. He was inside the church then. Hannah was outside the church having to do her prop duties.
Were you at all concerned about Hannah having to take on the role of armorer and prop assistant?
I didn't like it, and she complained about it too. At one time, they should have had her on set. She'd have rechecked that gun. If there was a live round placed there, she would have found it.
You have confidence that Hannah would have checked that gun one more time
Well,
had she
absolutely.
been in the church.
She knows what to do.
And of
Because
course,
that's
this
what
is
you would've
now
done.
before we know all the details, right, from the investigation. That definitely is not what happened. Did you see that picture that I posted of this gentleman in the court yesterday?
Yeah. I actually saw because I went and watched. I watched.
Oh,
it
damn.
earlier.
He looked,
Yeah.
I mean, I can only imagine, but absolutely distraught. Like,
I'd like to see him review some of the footage that they showed.
dude,
But he's very biased, so.
dude, that would still be interesting, but you're right. I mean, I'm sure he would. I mean, that's his daughter, you know. I mean, how can you not be, right?
Yeah, she does the job as
Trying to
good as I
line
do
you
now.
up here.
Sabotage is the most likely probability.
Do you believe sabotage was possible on the set?
Oh, yeah. You know, a lot of motive there.
Somebody wanted to cause a safety incident on set. Nobody wanted anybody to
of
be
motive
killed.
there?
We developed evidence of motive.
What the hell's he
Yeah,
talking about?
I have no clue what he meant by that. I thought that was interesting too. He says a lot of motive there. What does he mean by that?
You know, a lot of motive there.
Somebody wanted to cause a safety incident on set. Nobody wanted anybody to be killed. We developed evidence of motive for that, why they might have wanted to do that, why Hannah might have been a target. And that's all gone to the sheriff. So we're asking for
Not a
that to be
motive to
completed
murder
before
somebody,
any.
but to sabotage Hannah's career or something.
Yeah, like that's such a different level of like,
Yeah.
I mean, to go from sabotaging someone's career to, I mean, the implication of murder. I mean, blending in. I mean, honestly, dude, fucking that fuckface Seth Kenney, dude. I think that's where the fucking bullets come from. Honest to God, dude. His fucking disaster area of an office, like, I mean, I'm gonna say allegedly, so we don't get sued here, but I mean, are you kidding me, dude? Like, I've said this a million times over. What happened, happened. Honestly, involuntary manslaughter, I mean, it sucks. She was the last line of defense in checking that arm, that firearm. 100%. It is what it is. It sucks. She wasn't even in the fucking room. That sucks. But dude, so many fucking people failed this girl before that even had a chance to happen. It's fucked. Like, but
He
but
said
no, she
that-
everything that happened, I think is warranted.
He said there's no chance there was any live ammunition, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No chance. And even when you see the initial police interviews, they're all so shocked when they learn it's a real bullet. I mean, even Alec, all of them, they're all, and even her, I truly believe that's true shock. Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, she fucked up the most royal fuck up that you can have. I mean, her life is changed forever. This career that she thought she was going to have is gone. It's crazy. Like, it's such a fucked up situation, man. Jersey Jan coming through here, $5. PB, show some love for the new guest. Doggy Debs, I brought her. Oh, shit. Doggy Debs, welcome in here.
Welcome, Doggy Debs.
That's what I like to see. Tell a friend. Hell yeah. That's right, Jersey Jan. Hell
Throw
yeah.
this thing, baby.
My dad was a sheriff's deputy. Am I one by default? Yes, right here. Deputy Dog Deb. I like it. In the house, baby. Welcome
Triple
in,
D.
Deputy Dog Deb. Yeah, this whole thing is such a tragic story, man. It's horrible. Yeah, the family of Halyna Hutchins, I can only imagine what they've went through and what they're going through, and there's nothing that can bring back their loved one that, I mean, and she's young as hell, dude. Like, it's fucked up. But, like, going through this and seeing a lot of the just, I mean, this is the craziest set that could have ever been. I'm going to show this too, actually. This is Alec Baldwin. I'm sure everyone's seen this. We're going to just kind of go through this here for a minute. This is Alec talking. I'm sure this is immediately after. Again, this is from 2021.
Loved by everyone who worked with and liked by everyone who worked. The people who watched the daily.
Alec Baldwin's trial is coming up. Was it July? That shit's coming up, and it's going to be here quick. It's going to be interesting.
As long as charges don't get dropped, I've heard speculation, from even like lawyers that it's a possibility that they could still drop charges.
It'll be interesting.
Actually, and I was reading some more stuff today, and I heard again that maximum sentencing is like 18 months. So I still don't know the answer to that. Like, what is the potential sentencing here?
That's what I've seen. I've seen that the max is a potential 18 months for Hannah.
Yeah.
Who knows what they're going to give her, right?
So that seems to be kind of the consensus then.
Shit, who just come through the motherfucking house? Bob might have come through the house. What's up, dude?
On the wrong account.
What's happening, brother?
So what's his other account? What's he?
That her work was beautiful.
Oh, shit. I know. Never mind. That must be Stevie Irwin. Stevie Irwin in the house.
Oh, okay.
She was someone who was loved by everyone who worked with and liked by everyone who worked with and admired.
I know it was Mandy. Mandy behind the defense diary.
Sorry.
Yeah, this shit's coming though, man. I've seen, and I'm going to say this, dude. I'm no fan of Alec Baldwin, really. From the only way the reason I'm saying that is from interviews I've seen with him. But like, I don't think he has like any kind of even seeing. Did you see the footage that they showed during the trial of him actually? He was dangerous in a lot of points, but he was actually communicating some safety. Like he was worried about a cameraman going backwards uphill. He was telling people to get out of the way. And I would say this about, again, she should have been there. Again, she's a young armorer. You can give all these excuses. At the end of the day, she should have been fucking there being assertive if you're in that position. But in one of these scenes, it was the scene when he's on his back laying down, just basically telling people, let's go, let's go, let's go. I want to keep shooting, And it's right after he was doing some shots. He's trying to keep everybody active. I could hear in the background Hannah say, get out of the front of his muzzle. I heard her actually say that. But that's not enough, right? I mean,
yeah.
You have to be. She should have been fired. You should be doing your job so fucking well that they don't want you there. That would have saved your life and your career. Not your life, but your career.
Yeah, and I mean, I really don't, up to this point, don't find Baldwin very culpable in this incident at all so far.
Yeah. I don't think
unless they can present some evidence that convinces me otherwise, I really don't see him being responsible in any real way.
The only angle to me that would be is if they kind of go down, he had some kind of if he was pushing for the cheap factor, if we needed to get
costs and
if it was a cost thing, and exactly, and he was bypassing safety precautions that should have been there, even though he was verbally saying this stuff, you know what I mean? Pretty lax on that set.
But I mean, that's also not like, I don't know. I'm still not going to punish him for that. Like, at least he hired a real armorer. Hell, an armorer that was trained by one of the best in the world. So,
yeah.
It's not really, to me, that's not a real case. That doesn't make him culpable for what happened.
Admired by everybody who worked with her. I'm holding the gun where she told me to hold it, which ended up being aimed right in below her armpit, was what I was told. I don't know. This was a completely incidental shot, an angle that may not have ended up in the film at all. But we kept doing this, so then I said to her, now in this scene, I'm going to cock the gun. And I said, do you want to see that? And she said, yes. So I take the gun and I start to cock the gun. I'm not going to pull the trigger. I said, do you see that? She goes, well, just cheat it down and tilt it down a little bit like that. And I cock the gun. I go, can you see that? Can you see that? Can you see that? And she says, and then I let go of the hammer of the gun and the gun goes off. I let go of the hammer of the gun and the gun goes off.
At the moment. That
was the moment the gun went off, yeah. That was the moment the gun went off.
So you have this Colt 45, you just pulled
the hammer as far back as I could without cocking the actual
and you're
gun.
holding on to the hammer.
I'm holding that. I'm just showing. I go, how about that? Does that work? Do you see that? Do you see that? She goes, yeah, that's good. I let go of the hammer. Bang, the gun goes off. The notion that there was a live round in that gun did not dawn on me till probably 45 minutes to an hour later.
45 minutes to an hour? Well, there are some who say you're never supposed to point a gun at anyone on a set, no matter what.
Unless the person is the cinematographer who's directing me where to point the gun for her camera angle. That's exactly what happened.
How do you respond to actors like George Clooney?
That was a good answer. He's trying to get him. He's like,
You say that every time they were handed a gun, they checked it themselves.
Well, there were a lot of people who felt it necessary to contribute some comment to the situation, which really didn't help the situation at all. You have if your protocol is you checking the gun every time, well, good for you. Good for you. You know what I mean? I probably handled weapons as much as any other actor in films with an average career. Again, shooting or being shot by someone. And in that time, I had a protocol, and it never let me down.
One of your brothers, Daniel, suggested that you've also become a target for your political views. Do you agree with that?
Well, I don't think that
anybody
has said anything about and has
He's the one that made fun of Trump, right? He dressed up as Trump on SNL.
I would fully expect to have done that. I'm not somebody who has a lot of vivid dreams, but I have dreams about this constantly now. I wake up constantly where guns are going off. These images have come into my mind and kept me awake at night, and I haven't slept for weeks, and I've really been struggling physically. I'm exhausted from this because I got to try to be there for my kids, and my family's all I have. I mean, I honest to God, I couldn't give up my career anymore.
Is it over?
Why? Well, it could be. It could be. If I decide that could I work? I'm going to go make another movie in January. And I said to him, do you want to get out of it? Do you want to get rid of me?
What? Well, could it be over? Is it over? Well, it could be. Well, I am making another movie in January. I've immediately got another one on my list. Fuck. I don't like this guy at all. Like, he's the smug Hollywood fucking, the vibe is trash, but yeah, I don't think he's going to get anything from this. I want to go down here, though.
I mean, I'm not going to believe anything he says anyway because it's PR cover-up. I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like, he's got people for this kind of thing.
100%.
But
Miss Shorty, what are you doing here? $7.99. Yee. I have made it live for once, and we're glad you're here. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Give me the loot. Give me the loot.
That's the vibe I get, Catherine Catgrow. Me with this motherfucker. Okay, let's go in here and see how much. We're probably not going to make this entire hour. I've got it already set up to when she comes on. There are some snippets in here that are very interesting, like the quote that I put on the thumbnail. I don't do anything unless I'm the best at it. There's some snips that was also in the short that I made, basically her saying that she did, she was afraid initially of loading blanks into a gun, and mentioning how her father, of course, the mentor, taught her everything she knows. But all right, let's get in here and give this thing the old listen. Remember, 1 month and 1 week before the fatal incident that happened, that she has now been actually convicted of involuntary manslaughter for.
Bozeman, Montana.
Okay. Now you just finished up doing a movie there as the armorer. Can you talk about the movie?
Of course, I would love to. So it's really cool. It was a really badass way to start off a really long and cool career, I'm hoping. But I just finished up working on The Old Way with Nicolas Cage, his very first Western.
Oh, I heard about that.
And it was also my first time being head armor as well.
And how was that?
I was really nervous about it at first, and I almost didn't take the job because I wasn't sure if I was ready. But doing it, it went really smoothly.
How long have you been under the tutelage of your father, the great Thel Reed?
Well, it's been a press since birth.
One other thing I do want to show, actually, while we're here. I had this. So, yeah, this is pretty cool. So, there's so little that I found of this motherfucker. This is from fucking, looks like a fair or something, from the 60s. But here he is doing some trick shots from back in the day. I'm sure this is going to get some kind of fucking copyright.
Kind of new to him, and he's free.
Make it through here. I don't know if this is real, but they show him shooting a snake like it's crazy. Watch this.
The other hands have been giving Mark such a bad time, he has to slip off someplace to twirl his fancy guns.
When work was over, just at the close.
All right, wait, watch this.
The prairie, he found a new made mound, and his friends, they sadly told him they laid his one down.
Shoots a snake.
Might have been real.
From Hollywood.
All right, and we get a little bit of trick shooting out here.
Here's Mark Reed with a little of the fancy gun work that's made him famous all over the world.
Quick now.
Casey Tibbs plays the part of the outlaw. And he dies hard, don't he? Now Mark will show you how to get one villain from the front and one from the rear. Now, 2 targets at one time. His helper is the camp cook. Any wonder he's nervous?
That's about it.
He didn't give her a pacifier, he gave her a Derringer.
I saw AJ said that in the movie with Nicolas Cage, he screamed at her. Like Nick Cage screamed at her.
Yeah. I've heard that too. I've never, I've only heard the story, but apparently it was because of some reckless shit with guns on set that he noticed it and was like, and that was a story that came out too, that he had been like, what the fuck, and freaked out by her. So
wow,
that's pretty wild. Like,
Dad's been
not
teaching me
good.
a little bit about every now and then about guns since I was 16, but I think we really got into the stuff more just really in the last couple of years.
Is it something that you wanted to gravitate to, or because I know you have a film degree from NAU?
Yeah, originally I had planned on like working with cameras, or I really like lighting too.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to do DP work, but I kind of just tried it with Dad one time, and then I noticed I had a really natural knack for it growing up around guns my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
So now I've come to realize, I'm like, oh my God, like this is a pretty sweet gig.
Well,
Yeah.
I saw that you did some prop work too. Prop maker. Is that how you started with working or on the pictures? Or I know you worked with your dad some. 'Cause I'm looking at
I didn't do a lot of prop work. He let me do PAing every now and then.
Yeah.
To get me in the industry so I could see what I wanted to do.
Learning, yeah.
And I did. I started with background work because I thought I wanted to be an actress, but then I decided after doing it, I was like, it's not really my shtick.
I got a question for you then, because I was.
Well, you're way too
trying,
smart.
Yeah.
I was trying
to
to
be
find
an actress.
Yeah.
I was trying to find some stuff about you, and I come across a couple of pictures that because you're hard to find on the internet. In fact, you're virtually impossible. And when they do find somebody, it's not you. But there was 2 pictures: Kill Katie Malone and a TV thing, Call 911, which had Hannah Reed credits. Was either one of those you?
No. So technically, I have a technical different name other than Reed. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay. You've got your acting name.
Yeah, Reed's my business name.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, technically, I have my mother's last name.
Oh,
so.
okay. All right.
Okay. We'll leave you at that unless you want to.
It doesn't help that it's not great interviewers whatsoever.
No.
I was I've only heard snippets, and I pulled out some of the stuff that I used, but there's parts where they just get lost in their own little weird stories, and they forget they're even interviewing someone.
Sound pretty old too.
Yeah, they do. Like, again, I'm not familiar with this whatsoever. I'm no Western enthusiast, but
Feel it.
I mean, I go by Hannah Gutierrez. If you looked me up, you'd probably see that I used to do modeling a little bit. And then I decided that, modeling didn't really have any sustenance, and people didn't really see you for anything more than face value.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to get more into, this line of work.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I did a lot of PA work over the years, especially when it was slow. And it definitely gets you inside where you kind of like to fly on the wall, and you see and hear things that sometimes people don't want you to see and hear.
Yeah, I mean, PA work was fun and everything. Like, I PA'd for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood for a couple of days.
Oh, okay.
That was really neat. Basically, my job was just...
Yeah, Phil, Tayo Toy sent me her modeling shots first, and we both kind of talked about, should we share these? Is that appropriate? I was like, dude, I was thinking the same thing, and I'm not real sure, so I'm just going to back off of it. then I've seen other people's share.
I think one of them is the one that Jay posted, like where Dizzy found her, like it was like a Flickr page or something.
Okay, yeah.
Where she's like posing with the car.
Right.
I'm assuming that was a modeling shot.
That's
It kind of looked like it.
Yeah.
The
Let me see if I can find
crackheads
here on the
to keep
side.
them out of the shot.
Yeah. It's weird to me. It's almost like, working as a production assistant. It's almost like, what is the most degrading thing we can find them to do that will bore them to death so they'll leave the industry?
Oh my God, absolutely. I can't tell you how many, countless fields I've just sat in all by myself, miles down the road from anything.
Yeah, I've done that.
So talk more about this movie that you've just completed work.
Uh-oh. That one's a little
All
racy.
right, so I'll tell you a little
I've
bit
seen
more
that one.
about
I've seen that
it.
one in a thumbnail on a
So
video.
Nick Cage was in it, obviously. He was very nice. Kind of standoffish a little bit, but, as to be expected. The last day, he was pretty wacky and kind of fun, actually. I think he was excited to go home.
Yeah.
Free at last.
But, and then Ryan Armstrong, I don't know if you guys have heard of her, but she's an upcoming young actress. And
Okay.
oh my God, she is spectacular at what she does.
All right.
Yeah, she was just in Black Widow. She was the little girl in Black Widow.
Okay.
She's about 11 years old, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so I got
she's
to
like
work
a
with
child
her,
star,
teach
or
her
is she
how-
grown up now?
Yeah, that's from that same,
She's
I guess.
a child star right now.
Same
She's
shoot
like
or whatever.
11 years old, getting really popular. She's on American Horror Story right now as well too.
Oh, okay. I think I know about whom you're speaking. So what's the thrust of the movie? What's it all about?
So this is a Western thriller.
The model, guys.
Action movie.
The model.
About Nick Cage, who used to be.
She's taking some pictures.
He used to be a pretty bad guy. He would go around killing people mercilessly, but then he fell in love with a woman, I guess, and calmed down in life. But then one of the victims that he had grows up because he killed some dude's dad, and he grows up and he ends up killing Nick Cage's wife, and Nick Cage goes after him all crazy.
Holy guns.
So it's a revenge movie.
Yeah, it's a revenge movie. It's called The Old Way because, in the future, it jumps 20 years into the future where, Nick Cage's character, Briggs, calmed down and everything. But, so, he goes back and he does things the old way because now they have a new way of
She does
doing
look pretty
things,
young
I guess.
also.
And so what period of time is this
Hell,
taking
she's young
place
now,
in
is she?
the Old West?
She's still in her
1880s
early
time?
20s, ain't she?
Yeah, this is taking place in the first part of it is
Oh, shit, here's a really raunchy one.
And
Getting in it, baby.
The second part of it was in 1882, which was a little problematic for the guns and everything.
I was going to ask
They'll
about
keep you
that.
busy, yeah.
Yeah, you had to have a complete two sets of firearms to cover those periods.
And cap and balls.
Oh,
and cartridge,
absolutely. And yeah, I had to explain with the director because he really wanted him to have the same gun. And I
God,
just had
she's
to
only
explain to him.
24?
I was like,
Jesus
"There's no."
Christ.
Yeah, 24. So now, when it happened, what's that? 21? Whoa.
That's
KJ.
insane.
I mean, Hannah looks like someone who peaked in high school and now has 4 kids with a dude she met at NASCAR. That's you fucking nailed it, bro.
Fairly accurate, yeah.
Nailed it. Jessica for Justice just popped in the door. What's up?
Way that he would have kept that same gun over 20 years, the firearm just evolved so rapidly during that time period. Any smart man would have, moved up to a peacemaker.
If he would have kept it, he would have had a conversion cylinder on it.
Yeah.
Or he'd have got shot.
Or got shot, yeah. You can't
Yeah.
can't speed load those cap and balls. I know, I've tried.
Yeah, for real.
That's one of the things I liked about News of the World. He just changed cylinders.
Yeah, yeah.
I wish there was
Very-
a 10-second button here.
Very
That
specific
Remington.
audience.
What is the? I'm afraid this
Oh,
is
look at the
I
1X.
convinced-
I bet you can speed it up. Look at the 1X.
Them to kind
Oh,
of
shit.
sway away from that. I almost got the director to change up the time period 2 days before we shot. We all decided against it. I was like, don't do that to everybody. Don't do that to props. Don't do it to costumes. If they found out, they would kill me,
So what were you supplying in terms of black powder firearms?
I was mostly, Remington. There wasn't too many, like there wasn't a lot. There's a little bit of gunfire, but yeah, it was mostly just a couple Remingtons.
And they were for show. Nobody was actually
and
using
of course, some Henry rifles too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which you like better, working with, the pistols or the rifles?
I mean, I like using the rifles a little more. I think they're fun. I love the lever actions, but other than that, I like a regular peacemaker for just shooting with. Honestly, like that's my bread and butter.
Wow, really? How good are you?
I'm getting really pretty good at quick draw. My dad's been teaching me, so I'm getting pretty fast. And when your dad looks at you and he makes a face and he's like, "That was pretty fast," you're getting fast.
If you want to impress your dad with how good you've got, go out there and take.
Yeah, this is just normal speed, guys. She's just hopped up on the code.
Shot right through the hole.
That's right. What's the first?
Just as another take on that, Hannah. I've had that face from your father, but the other way. Where he looks at me like, God, there's just no hope for this person.
And as a father, I have had both faces.
I love when he makes that face too. That's one of my favorite faces to get out of him.
Well, what you were telling me about that movie reminds me of another movie. It was a Western, but it had Smokey the Bear in it. And he went into the saloon and he shot this guy. And the bartender said, "Smokey, why did you shoot that guy?" He says, "That's the fellow that shot my paw."
Yeah. Well, and so, there was actually something cool that happened on this. Well, something that I thought was cool is that one of the actors, I noticed, he was really good and pretty well-versed with the firearms. And I guess he's from Wyoming. Mm-hmm. But then later on I found out that he's also working with my dad currently on Yellowstone 1883. Mm-hmm. So it's really cool because an actor that I was working with and training was also working with my dad at the same time.
Cool. Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I got to compare notes a little bit.
Yeah.
I was like, "What's the difference, man? What did I not teach anything that he did?" And he was like, "Honestly, it's pretty word for word,
Mm-hmm.
I teach pretty much exactly the same way my dad does, I guess, which is good because my dad's thebomb.com.
When's the scheduled release for this movie?
I'm not entirely sure. I would bet we just got done filming. They're doing something with the film festival this next week. If you look it up online, it says that they're people are able to buy into it at the film festival or something this next week. But
what's the name of the movie again for folks listening?
Huh?
What's the name of the movie again for the folks that are listening?
The Old Way.
The Old Way, starring Nicolas Cage.
Starring Nicolas Cage and Noah LaGrasse and Ryan Armstrong.
How's the livestock on that show?
The lives of the horses?
Yeah, that's my.
They were all right. They were nice horses for the most part. Nothing really bad happened with them, so I appreciate that.
No shooting guns next to the horses on that set?
Not entire. I mean, I just never was really raised around horses, and most of the time, horses kind of sketch me out on set with all the guns and everything.
Yeah, that can be a problem. I know a lot of times in the past when we were doing stuff, generally it would be the prop master because back in those days they didn't hire that many armorers, but he'd come around to the wranglers and say, "Look, guys, we're having to use full loads on this shot, and we need to put some cotton in the horse's ears." And that could be fun because some horses you could just stick the cotton in or nothing else, and other horses would go bananas when you started messing with their ears.
Yeah, they think they got a burr under the saddle, right?
Well, no, they because they've been abused or because they're just not. They don't like their ears messed. You don't like people playing with your nose or something.
Right. All right, we got to do our very first commercial break here, Hannah. Hang on. Our horse bench, and I know you.
Show them. Damn. Well, you have to show them how to do the whole trigger thing. They're just usually
cowboy arm from to you. I've got a part in this movie, and I know nothing about firearms, but they've still cast me as a cowboy.
Asking an interesting question here. It seems like I want to see how she answers this.
Just about how to shoot and everything. Or
yeah, just give them this. Give me the drill that you would do for. I come to you. I've got a part in this movie. And I know nothing about firearms, but they've still cast me as a cowboy, and I got to shoot somebody.
Yeah, I want to see how she answers this.
Right on. Well, I mean,
Well, she started it with right on.
Typically, not everyone's quick drawn. Otherwise, if they're quick drawn, I try to teach them how my dad taught me, just to make it nice and smooth.
Right.
And try to show them. Well, you have to show them how to do the whole trigger thing. They're just usually all like, "And you have to pull back the hammer every time." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's what you got to do." And show them how to put on their holster. Yeah, some guys come to me and they know absolutely nothing about gun belts and stuff like that, which is totally understandable. So I have to teach them how to put on their belt, which seems pretty funny to say when you put it that way, and then I have to like just show them how to hold it straight, make it look like they're aiming at something, and also you have to teach them about the recoil because these blanks don't really have regular like pushback that regular bullets do. So I always try to, in order to make it look more realistic, tell the actors to create a little bit of recoil with their wrist.
Well, let me ask you this then, because this is one of the things that people sometimes see it and they think it's an affectation, but you'll see a guy fire the gun and then he'll throw the gun back up and then bring down, and they don't realize that on the older guns you did that to clear it.
You had to clear the cap.
Yeah.
Because it was a cap and ball.
And and that's those are the kind of little details that I think makes a lot of difference for me, because unless they're shooting a peacemaker with a cartridge in it, then
this is still my first film, and you know what my dad does? He doesn't really ever work with any of that stuff. I'd like to work more with it in the future, because it'd be really badass to work on other things that don't exactly involve guns, like bows and arrows would be super sweet to learn, swords too. But for now, all I really know is like, the Wild West peacemaker stuff.
Work on your strengths, yeah. Well,
I'm definitely gonna perfect this a little more, and then I'll start branching out to other stuff. I'm still pretty young, I got time to do it.
Yeah, I think so.
miles and miles of road. Yeah. Because if you look at the industry today, you're actually probably, if it's not a cops thing or something, or war thing, it's medieval or fantasy with a lot of blades.
How do the men react when they come to you as the armorer?
Oh, I think that's like one of the funniest parts is usually they're just like, all right, go see the armor. And they'll like walk in there. And I was like working with the prop master on the last one. His name's Crow. And they would walk in and immediately go up to Crow. And they'd be like, hi, I'm here. I need to talk to the armor. And I'd be like, don't look at him. Look at me. Me.
Let me ask you this then, because it just dawned on me, because when I was working in the business, most of that stuff was done by the prop master. Have you ever run into any resentment or pushback from any of the prop people?
I have not personally, but I know more than a few times, a couple of jobs, will get stolen out from single armors just for a prop master that has his preferred guy or a prop master that does it on their own.
KJ's hilarious.
So I personally haven't dealt with any of that yet. I've normally worked with my own department, and they have their own department, and we kind of just chill and work together. But yeah, no, I haven't had any issues with that yet. But I also haven't worked under a prop master.
Well, you've apprenticed with your dad some too, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Want to talk about some of the movies that you apprenticed with him? That would be interesting, your experiences and
she did.
What he taught.
I need to talk to the armor, and I
did call the prop master, Sarah Zachary, that she was working with, a cunt. That is true.
Be like, don't look at him. Look at me. Me.
Let me ask you this then, because it just dawned on me, because when I was working in the business, most of that stuff was done by the prop master. Have you ever run into any resentment or pushback from any of the prop people?
I have not personally, but I know more than a few times, a couple of jobs, will get stolen out from single armors just for a prop master that has his preferred guy or a prop master that does it on their own.
Yeah.
So I personally haven't dealt with any of that yet. I've normally worked with my own department, and they have their own department, and we kind of just chill and work together. But yeah, no, I haven't had any issues with that yet. But I also haven't worked under a prop master.
Well, you've apprenticed with your dad some too, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Want to talk about some of the movies that you apprenticed with him? That would be interesting, your experiences and what he taught you and what you taught him.
Yeah, he took me from being completely green and taught me everything that I know so far. And by all means, I'm still learning. But yeah, Dad has taught me everything. But a lot of things, I kind of just caught on by myself and everything. Just observation, watching him do things, or just knowing how the firearms work. I think loading blanks was the scariest thing to me because I was like, oh, I don't know anything about it. But, you know, he taught me that, and eventually by the time I was, like, trying to figure out how to make a specific blank go when you want it to rather than it hitting, like, the empty cylinders and everything, figured that out on my own.
Explain that process.
So normally if you, like, you know, you open the loading gate, you put the bullet in, you have to put it right around to right before. You have to bring that bullet, that blank, all the way around to right before the cylinder. So then that way, the next time someone pulls back the hammer and shoots it, it'll go off. Yeah, and you have to like look at the front of it and determine which one is the blank. If it's dummied up, you know, that's how I tell at least.
Yeah. And in the other, in the others, then the rest of the cylinder, is it just dummy wads that are in there, or what?
Yeah, usually dummies. Sometimes if they don't see the dummies, they won't have me dummy it up. I try to dummy it up as much as I can.
Make it look real.
But some people really don't want you to dummy it for some reason, just out of their own, I don't know, how they want to feel comfortable, I guess. But
it changes the weight of the gun for one thing, you know.
And you can like see the sides a little bit too, you know, like
well,
by all means.
You know, that's interesting because when I started, this was like 1964, 65, and you'd go out on a job, and in fact, a lot of shows I would actually take my own firearm out there if I knew the prop master, and a lot of us would do that, and we'd just have our own rigs and carry them, and you know, throw them in the back. If you couldn't use them, we'd put them back underneath the truck seat or something. But you know, there was nobody. They just sometimes they just give you a pocket full of cartridges, you know, blanks, you know.
Welcome back, Pokemon, to adult chat.
Half loads, quarter loads, depending on what they needed. But nowadays it's like, you know, because I think the last thing I worked on, it was like you'd do a shot and then somebody from props would come and take the gun away from you, and then the next time you needed it, they'd come and bring it back to you, and it would get a little crazy at times because they were treating everybody like they never had a gun before, which I can understand.
That's probably the safest thing to do, too.
Oh, it is. But
yeah, I thought that's pretty much just the standard of it now.
Yeah.
But I'm usually pretty nice to people. You know, I'll just stand right by them, get it out, and you know, because a lot of actors haven't worked with them, and they also they have to worry about acting and not about loading the gun and everything. So that's where I don't. Yeah, to make it safe.
She wasn't really worried about it either.
Proficient with their own guns, I still load them anyways, but
yeah, the person who
I guess Dave Halls can do this part.
Is sometimes the one who is the least safe.
That's the same guy that says I can ride.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And oh yeah.
Wow.
Other than that, my dad's been teaching me mostly about I think the most important thing he's taught me is just like taking care of guns and how to clean them. And I'm also like in the process of, because what's really great about my dad is if something breaks on set, he can absolutely fix it. He's like a wizard with guns. So what I'm trying to learn now is like the ins and outs of all the guns and how to fix them.
Do you think you might move on to gunsmithing?
Not entirely, not as like a permanent thing, but I definitely, it helps to know some stuff like that when you're on set and something messes up, you know.
Todd, what do you got?
Well, you know, I just take a lot of selfish pride here listening to Hannah because, you know, I kind of watched her grow up from afar. You know, when my
this
dad,
guy's currently like, can we take that episode down?
With me, and we're running around for her that I to have you.
I think that earned respect.
That guy just sucked his own dick for 3 minutes.
During the set. But I will say this doesn't really happen a lot, you know, but it's just unfortunate because I really thought that was kind of over with, especially after Weinstein and everything, you know.
Yeah.
Well, human nature is what it is, and there's unfortunately a lot of bore hogs out there that have no respect for anybody, especially women.
Or anything. And on that note, we've got to do our next commercial break. Hannah, hang on. The stage is home.
Movie, and they all that we're talking about, fuck yeah, I want to shoot a cannon.
Be a pirate.
Yes, I've done pirate reenacting in Civil War.
All right, I'm going to tap out on that. It kind of got, I did get to what I wanted to actually hear her kind of talk about in there, really working with her dad, being trained by her dad, some of the lines she said along the lines of being freaked out by the by the blanks, but learning it, it's pretty interesting. Again, 1 month before all this went down, dude. That's fucking wild, man.
Yeah, one thing that I like that she said was, I think the most important thing my dad taught me was, taking care of a gun and how to clean it. Not the safety,
not the safety.
That's not the most important part.
For real, dude. For real, man.
I mean, she talked about even like when they were talking about how, on set they treated people like they'd never seen a gun before, and he was like, "Well, that's probably the best way to do it." And she goes, "Yeah, I'm pretty chill with people. I just kind of stand beside them." Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically what happened.
Being lax,
too chill,
obviously a problem,
and you can tell she's way too chill. Honestly, I mean, you can be that chill, but you got to be assertive if your job depends on it. If you're in that position, like in all those scenes that in all the situations that we've seen, yeah, dude, like you could hear her behind the camera in the scene when the stuntman is handing the gun to the child, and they're just kind of flipping it around and pointing it around. You could hear her; she's there, she's around, she's lurking. It's wild. It's wild shit. So the conviction, it makes sense 100%.
Yeah, the reality is she was just too young for that type of job.
That's
honestly
true, dude.
Like nobody that young is gonna be like yelling at fucking Alec Baldwin or like, you know what I mean? Like, everybody on set's older than her. Like she's just doesn't have that type of experience.
Should not have been there.
And like she's not gonna have that at 24 years old.
Yeah, we were talking about that in the chat there.
Experience.
I feel like right now I'm just now becoming an adult. Like, yeah, dude. Yeah. Like, and here's the thing: when you are that young, you feel like you know it all. You feel like you are ready for everything. So, but controlling that much stuff on an active movie set there's so many moving pieces.
That's a good way to put it, KJ. She didn't want to be a buzzkill. She totally seems like that type of person.
That is the perfect. That's what she is. Yeah, she doesn't want to be a buzzkill. 100%. Craziness, dude. I was a dictator at a coffee shop I worked at when I was 24. Oh Lord. So Dan, tomorrow night, Feral Friday.
Oh, I'm taking off.
You taking off tomorrow too?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, it's cool.
No, I'll be
tomorrow. Here. We should try to bang out some Twin Peaks.
Okay, I'm down.
All right, I didn't do it last week, so we got an episode.
Actually, 6. I even told you, like, if you're just doing Twin Peaks,
I know
I don't need to be here anyway.
I don't know what happened last week. It just ended up going that direction.
That's how it goes.
Yeah. So I'm going to try to watch it. I would like to maybe watch 2 or even 3 tomorrow, but we always end up talking forever, so it probably won't happen.
That's definitely not going to happen.
There's 3 left.
It's possible if we like watched them, because they're probably about 45 minutes. No, they're like 20-some minutes, aren't they?
No, they're about 40 minutes, yeah.
Are they? I couldn't remember if they're like 30-minute shows or an hour shows.
Yeah. So anybody in here right now, if you're not following us on Kick, please make sure you are. Tomorrow night we'll do the first 30 minutes here on YouTube for Feral Friday, but then we move over to this website called kick.com, and if you search that on your laptop or on your desktop, right here is the link for that. Kick.com/PubliclyBuzzed. But if you're on your phone getting an app into any app store, whether it's Android or iPhone, just search Kick, search for us, should pop right up, and then you'll be having a good time. One thing I also want to push, this is from, I think this was, when did we do Man Whose Hands of Fate? 2 weeks ago? 2 Saturdays ago?
Yeah.
So
Saturday before last, wasn't it?
I think so. So it's going to be 2 weeks this Saturday.
Yeah.
So, and this is how time is, last night I finally got a minute. I was like, I'm going to break out a little trailer here because I want, I took it down off Kick immediately after it aired. That is a Patreon exclusive.
I actually checked that today. When you made your tweet, I was like, I thought it was on Kick. Didn't we do that on Kick?
No, yeah, totally taken down from Kick. This is only watchable through our Patreon, folks. And I'm going to show you the trailer right now. It should be good. Hopefully this don't get us taken down again by Manos.
It's a good time.
Here's the trailer, and then this is only available at the Buzz Nation Patreon page.
Don't worry, Laura. We if it's scary, we'll make fun of it. You're good, Laura.
It's not. There's going to be no fright here tonight. I guarantee you guys. It's going to be all comedy. Anything that is supposed to be fright is unintentionally hilarious.
Very well. The master will be very disturbed.
Says the kid at first. The master. You go first.
Oh, what? Whoa! Knees! What the? It's the audio started going crazy too.
Is that in that or is that here?
I don't know.
Hold on, I think it might. I think this.
I mean, I watched it earlier and it was fun. Well, on Twitter it was fun.
Tonight and tomorrow. You must be.
Yeah,
You cannot stay. The master would not approve.
I like the little laugh.
It takes them so long. Don't worry about this luggage, man. I got it. Just go sit down, bro.
Clearly disabled man. He's giving him luggage to take in the fucking house. He's got a staff and he can't walk. And he's like, take this shit there. I just invited myself into your house. Now take my shit.
Hey, just come get this. Is this a hotel now? Like,
Yeah, he's just treating it like it's a hotel with service.
Dude, that shit was fun as fuck, and that is not going to be the last movie that we're going to be doing. And
I mean, honestly, even if you just sub the Patreon for 1 month just to watch that, it's worth it because that was such a fun time.
And dude, those are going to keep coming down the pike, though. Like, I definitely want to keep on doing some movies, and that is the original Publicly Buzzed idea, quite frankly.
Yeah,
riffing on movies. So
yeah, we'd like to keep going down that road here and there as much as we can.
Definitely extra content that's going to be coming. It can only basically come on Patreon. We started that night for members only on YouTube and Patreon, and YouTube hit us with a copyright, so we had to move over to Kick, which again was fun as fuck, and that's why Kick rules. We can do some copyright stuff over there.
Yeah.
It was a good time. It was fucking fun as shit.
It was really fun.
But yeah, tomorrow,
and it's hilarious. That whole video was hilarious.
Tomorrow would be weird if you're like just jumping in on Twin Peaks, but either way, come hang out. I really just want to kind of get through the first season, and we are so close. And we usually just end up fucking hanging out and listening to rap music.
Yeah.
Hanging and banging, baby. Which has been nothing but fun. It's been so good. It's actually cool to just get in there and kind of like, I mean, after a long week, dude, hang out, unwind.
Yep.
It's good stuff.
That's what we do here.
It's good stuff.
We're not serious true crime all the time. We at least have one show. I mean, I guess it depends on what's happening. Every once in a while, a Friday night might have true crime going on, but we do also kind of like to party on Friday.
we do, baby. Yeah, Kick is still in beta, which is probably why we can get away with so much on there. They don't seem to enforce any actual rules, which is, again, knock on wood, good for us right now.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Love it. I love everybody coming in here. I've seen a lot of new names in here tonight.
We can take advantage of it for now.
Yeah, that's exactly it, dude. Like Tuesday, I showed a documentary on there, Murders at the Burger Joint. This was on Amazon. Impossible to play basically anywhere else except if I had it myself and uploaded it to Patreon, which would be Patreon's cool for that. They don't really enforce any kind of things like that, but you can't stream on there. Right. Kick straight up live stream that shit, watch it with you as if I was watching it in my living room.
Yep.
Cool as shit. Super cool. Super duper cool. I didn't see Law Nerd Amber hanging in here. What's going on? She just now coming here. Oh my god, I'm watching it from the. Oh, my camera went out. What the hell? Okay, you guys still hear me?
Yep.
That happened once before.
It just went out.
Yeah, just
like it's. Huh.
It just went out on me. See if I can fix it just super quick. If not, it doesn't matter. We're about done here, anyways.
Yeah.
But I want to see something.
I'll plug it back in. Does that work?
Huh, yeah. I don't know.
Now I see 3 of my shoulder.
It's all good. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for hanging out here tonight. I will be a ghost for right now. Tomorrow night, come hang out. Gonna have a good time. Pam Coogan coming in. What's going on, Pam? Thank you. Appreciate it. Right here at the end. Watch this back. This is a good one. Some interesting stuff happening in here. Keep an eye out this weekend. I'm going to try to put together a video. Then, of course, oh my God, of course, Sunday morning, I have to pick a new trial. So we may discuss that tomorrow. Actually, you know what? Tomorrow, the first 30 minutes of Fail Friday on YouTube is going to be us discussing probably what trial we're going to be looking into. I've got a few lined up. I've got tabs at I've got about 5 multiple trials that I'm looking at that I want to talk to everybody about, and then we can kind of see what's happening. So we'll do that tomorrow night. At least to
Do a
start
poll.
before we go to kick. So
Get some suggestions and do a poll.
Yeah. That sounds good. I think that sounds good. I think that's it. Yeah, I'm just floating. I'm just hanging out. This is Dan's show now.
I'm not a very good host. I wonder if I well, no.
You're doing good.
I'm doing a great job. Hang on, I was going to
Keep
do
it
this.
up. You're doing wonderful. Oh, dude, I got sidetracked earlier myself, Pam. Go, Steve. Night, Pokemon. Thank you for coming in here. I appreciate it.
My ring light's going to fuck it up. There we go.
There I am. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for being here. We appreciate the hell out of it. We will see you tomorrow night. Do all the things. Check out the videos. Share this out. Give it a like ski. Love you guys tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern time, right here. We'll see you then.
Good night, everybody.
Later.
This verse